Aloha, my beautiful friends. Crystal Ra Laksmi-Ditton here from San Diego, saying aloha with lots of protection and lots of love. I call myself abundance anthropologist. I believe all of us, we have a little treasure box hidden. And once we start to open it, we can connect to our talents and start to manifest our inner fairy tales into the dreams in this life on our terms, and also manifest holistic abundance. So welcome to today's live, and today will be a very special day because this will be the setup. I do this now for the last time here on my professional channel. So if you get here, say aloha. I'm very, very happy and very grateful. All of you have been following this experiment I've done for 2 years now, and it's time to change. So and how and which way it's all going to be, it's still kind of, you know, a creative process in the working. So you will hear more details here and there how it all will come about. But I see that Clarika Varik is here, Birgit Valge, Ragnar Sieber. Aloha, very nice to have you here. So today I have two topics. First one is how to find your lifeline and what is your lifeline right now. And then we'll look how to activate your superpowers, and two really crucial things right now, don't you think? So wherever you are in the world, I know it is a little bit extra challenging right now, but this is the time for all of us to really, you know, dip into what's really important and what's really, you know, what are our true values. So very, very crucial times. And I think this will go definitely into history as some of the major breakthroughs will come from here, lots of creative impulses, lots of new creations and so on. So if you feel that, you know, this is also kind of here for you to have been kind of postponing or procrastinating for too long, this is the time to do it, I'll tell you. So so we have these topics, but I also want to answer some questions. I've got some which I got prior this meeting. But if you're here and you have some questions about today's topic, or you're really struggling with something, don't hesitate to put it into the comments, and I can read it through and go through it as time allows. So thank you so much. And if you put it right now into the messenger, I can't really open it because I'm recording my live. So if you really want me to answer it during the live, put it into the comments. I know it may be very scary, like, oh my God, everyone will see my question, but I promise I will be very gentle. So, and I'm so like love when people ask me and I can do it live. It's just so enjoyable to have this two-way street with you guys. So, as I've been now continuing working online, and luckily I have been doing this for 10 years already. So this is nothing really new. I have lots of systems and structures already working, and we are now figuring out with my husband how to do it even better and even more, so that one of the ways to also create extra income is actually all these online things we can do. And one of the most exciting things which I do right now is actually my inner family coaching program. And with everything kind of crazy going on right now, I actually also extraordinarily kind of like open this application up again for the time being. So if there is anyone here who is like, okay, I really kind of feel calling to do this deeper work and take 4 months of my life to do this with Crystal. So let me know, and we can go through the process and see if this is something for you. Because now I realized, like, I have some people working now with the new program that, oh my God, like basically it took me 4 or 5 years to really figure out the details, like how to communicate with my inner family. But I have now distilled it into 4 months program. Can you imagine, like several years? And then of course, all the prior years and later years as well. So it's like huge amount of value there. So when I started to really connect into like what's going on in the world, and so many thanks to everyone who was here last week, who supported, shared the video. These have been one of the most popular Facebook Lives I've ever done. The Estonian one was like going through the roof. Lots of people watched it, shared it, talked about it. So I'm so grateful that you shared that material, and I surely know that it would probably, and it helped probably many people. So as being in connection with clients, friends, family, we all have lots of extra fear and confusion. Some of us have already, prior to everything happening, really good regime or, discipline, how we do things, how we keep our body, spirit, mind intact. But some are really struggling right now because basically what it looked like, if you take like this page, and this was like full of job or work, and that was like their whole life. And now this was taken away, then everything was like falling apart. So now it's the time where we bring this back, and it's like, this is your holistic life. What is it you want to put in here? And this was so needed to be like, restructured and kind of like, rattled a bit, because this is not a sustainable way, especially in the new time energy. So now we have to figure out what we put here, in what order, what priority, and what is gonna, carry us through. And you probably remember I've talked all these years about my abundance wheel. Voila. So this is your card, to your ticket, how to get out of this. Activate your relationships, activate your health, body, mind, spirit, activate your sexuality, figure out what your life mission is, and then all the abundance will just automatically follow. So it's so simple formula to create very holistic life. But the main core thing, when I started to really kind of go deeper, and it's like, okay, so what is this lifeline which would really help people right now? And there were all kinds of like, things starting to pop up. And usually when I kind of throw it out like this, or the title comes to me, I start to like do research and see what's coming up and so on. And number one thing which came, actually, that your lifeline number one is, I can also ask what you think what it is, or what it is for you, because it may be different. So give it a thought, like what do you think is your lifeline right now in your life, And when I went to the deeper level, to the spiritual level, the answer came: connection to your intuition. Because this is the time where your intuition will start to scream and basically tell you what to do, how to do, where to go, and so on. And the most people, because they are so scared and so in confusion, they even can't hear it, because there is so much noise coming in from all kinds of different, directions. So a good question with that is for you: how many hours or minutes within the last 4 days you have watched the news? So it's a really good question. If this has been minutes, or like, minutes, probably not that bad, but hours, then, your noise level, which is coming from the outside, is so much that it may actually mute your intuition. And if you want to stay alive, and if you want to go along with this new wave, and this is where the new time skills and tools and everything comes, fully in use, you should use them. So you should start to, mute all the noise outside, do the changes you need to really have that time. I call it Intuition FM. So every day I wake up, so the first hour is for me. So the first thing I do, 20 minutes, my morning pages, I write down whatever comes. If there is anything annoying, whatever, I just like write it out of me. This is also the way my intuition knows, okay, this is my time to pour this idea down. So, and then I can pour this idea down through that, kind of like channeling in a way. Then after 20 minutes or prior to that, I have a special meditation. So right now I even listen to my own meditation, the coming into your center meditation. If you didn't find that yet, I'll put the link to today's blog and here as well. This meditation I actually did according to positive psychology, new time energy suggestions as well, neuroscience. So I put all of these things and information together, and it's a really powerful meditation. So if you want to really kind of get yourself into focus and into your center in the morning or whenever you need it, this is a really cool free tool for you to use. So feel free to do that. And then, so that meditation is around 20 minutes. So writing 20 minutes. So I have 2 times 20, and then the last 10 and 10 will be, I have Brendan Pouchard's High Performance Planner. So this has weekly schedule and daily schedule. So basically, there are different things I write down. This is my morning message to myself, morning mindset, what's going to go on, who are the people I have to contact, and then the evening journal. So this is so crucial. On Sundays, I sit down and I do it for the whole week. So when I start my days, everything's already in line. So I don't wake up into chaos, like I don't know which direction to, run. So I do that 10 minutes, and then I read some inspirational book or listen to something for 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes. So then, did you notice, like, no Facebook, no phone, like no like messages from social media, no news, like nothing. For the first hour, I feed my mind. I let it also download what it has for me. And after that, I usually go and walk or do exercise. So right now, gyms are closed, so I go and walk or work out at home, and I do it for a certain time. Right now, there is another class I'm taking, which is like 4 days. There are 2.5-hour morning calls. So perfect. I walk and I take notes, and I enjoy the sunrise. This morning I had a beautiful rainbow. I put a little video up about that later with the morning wellness tip. And why is so crucial, this thing with intuition. I have now, when I've been going back in my life, and this is actually one really amazing homework for you as well. So what you do is you go back, maybe you could take like 10 years. You go back and you try to figure out those times when you had this really strong intuition coming to your life and saying, you should do this now. And then you took action and things happened. So I bring a couple of examples to you so you get what I mean with that. So let's go back to my pilgrimage in Norway. So I went up to the mountaintop. I got my new name, Crystal Ra Laksmi. I got my new name for my company, New Flow. And I got the guidance. You have to go to Estonia first, and after that you have to go and do aura mediator class. You have to become the aura mediator in Norway. Okay. And I didn't hesitate, because by that time I already knew that I have to just listen when this kind of, download comes. So I did all that, and I brought aura transformation to Estonia. And the first years, I didn't have basically personal life. I worked my ass off. So, and I loved it because it was just so amazing. All of these things, experiencing and so on. So pretty soon I got another guidance, being on my way back from Norway some other time later, 1 year later, traveling, and I bought an article, like a magazine, and opened the article. There was talking about the Zeg Eco community in Berlin, and it was like in 7 days time they had like a summer camp. I had a strong feeling I had to go there. I had no idea why. So intuition said, and then I did it. So I went there, I showed up. I met this Tantra teacher, Lokiano. We did the trade. I did energy session on him. He did the Tantra massage on me. And after I get out of that Tantra massage, I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. I have to bring him to Estonia and start to do classes with him. And voila, 1 year later, he's in Estonia. 2.5 years, I was his main organizer, main, assistant, everything, organizing these classes by monthly and sometimes even several times per month. So his main income was coming from Estonia. Can you imagine? So pretty crazy. So this was happening. And then I got an idea, Crystal, you have to go to Hawaii. Hawaii, it's like 2009, like, economy is collapsing. Like, what are you talking about? And I just took the action, started to pay my payments down. It seemed completely impossible. I did it and I was there. And after that, while in Hawaii, the idea came, you have to start to bring people here. Okay, no idea how to do it. Okay, I'll come back with some friends in like 6 months' time. I even told it to my friends, new friends in Hawaii. They're like, yeah, everyone says that. No one does that. So, and 6 months later, I was there with 4 people. And they're like, oh my God, holy crap. Crystal is actually doing what she's saying. Wow, amazing. So, and as I went, along, every time these guidances were coming, the next crucial time, intuition saying, now you have to go to Mexico, one-way ticket. What? Like, I don't have money. Okay, you make this product and you will sell it and you will get money. Okay, I did that. So it's really crucial that you don't really, know that, okay, I have intuition, but you also appreciate, acknowledge, your intuition. Because once you do it, it starts to also, it's like a human being, it starts to communicate with you. And now to understand more how this all kind of hangs together, we go to your superpowers. So if you're here, maybe you could give me an idea what you think are the superpowers we can activate right now. And I have been just like observing this right now in my own life, in my client's life, in my husband's, life. And the other day when I was just like seeing how these superpowers were activated, and, it was just so delicious to see it like coming and beaming and radiating out of him. So no one is answering. So what do you think would be the superpowers? So I started to see that some people right now, they really connect with these superpowers and they take action. And part of that is also your intuition, but I'll just wrap it up right away. So your superpowers are actually your inner family. It's just so crucially simple. So your intuition is your inner woman. So taking action is your inner man, and all of the stuff connected to your subconscious, your fear, but also your playfulness and all of that, or survival, is your inner child. So if you think of the world right now, most people are not connected to their inner family. Think of that. And then their inner children are coming up like, oh my God, mom, I'm so like scared. What do we do? Which way do we run? How many like tons of toilet paper will we like buy right now? Do we have enough food? And your inner children all over the world, they're like freaked out right now. And if you want to move forward in your life, your intuition comes in and says, you know, you have to do this and that, and you haven't learned how to connect with your inner child, you can't do anything. Your inner man is like paralyzed. It can't do anything because your inner woman has to now learn how to calm down this little child and make this little child, you know, understand everything will be fine. We will figure it out. Right now, we have enough toilet paper. We have additional things which we can use if we run out of toilet paper. It's not the end of the world. We have enough food. If the food runs out, we can, you know, order food supplements or, you know, stuff, other things, so we can manage. We can actually use it as a nice way to detox and, you know, lose weight, you know. So there is that's fine, you know. And we just need to activate other things so that we can get other things going. And as you talk like this, you know, like you talk to the child to calm them down, they calm down and they will come on board. And then you introduce like, hey, you know, do you know how many amazingly powerful inner children out there would like to actually have this kind of, you know, conversation with their inner woman as well? And you see your inner children like eyes go big, like, yeah, really? Would you like to be part of that, to help the world, you know, to wake them up and help other inner children to wake up and know that everything is fine, you know, and they can actually, you know, throw out some creative ideas and playful ways to spend time or whatever? Would you like to be part of that project? And of course, all the inner children, they are like running, like, oh my God, yes, of course, yes, of course. And then the inner woman is like, okay, tapping into the universal, the, you know, divine energy is like, okay, what is needed right now? So this is what me and Michael, we did last weekend. We actually, on Friday, we sat down and I said, this is our moment. Right now, people need us even more than ever before. What can we create? What are the creation, the crucial programs right now people have? So most people have too much fear. They have no idea how to get to the courage. They are too much in pain. They have no idea how to get to power. And we can guide that. So let's do a free webinar, which is called From Fear to Courage, and give them that material, you know, go through in details, you kind of give you what it's going to be. So let us help them to define and map their fears, and kind of also guide them through the road trip from fear to courage, and then identify the saboteurs which are connected to their fears, and also talk about habits and behaviors which are connected to fears. So, and once you get this done, we actually offer them by the end of this, you know, this amazing package deal. We put everything we basically already have, and then we do additional program, and we give like stuff away for like $3,000 value for $39. So we will focus on these things which are most important right now. Relationship to yourselves. I said selves, not self, because you have many selves. You have inner child, inner woman, inner man. You have to learn how to communicate with them, how to cooperate with them. And other than that, you also have saboteurs. You know, you have so many cells inside of you. Most of us never connect with them, and most of us are a mess because of that, you know. So tools and tips how you can work with those things. And then relationship with others, so crucial right now. We are kind of more, you know, in our caves, but this is the time where we can use other means of, you know, communicating. And then the main thing, you know, people also want to tap more into what is their life mission, like what's the real reason why I'm here. Now is the time to write my book, to do my thing, whatever that is, you know, and how to do that in a simple way. So we have all those tools. So, and, you know, how still in this whole mess, you know, imagine and work for your better future and the freedom you actually would like to have in your future. So let's build a program like that, you know. And I'm just like watching Michael, and Michael's inner family is like, the inner child is like, yeah, okay, where do we start? Like, what's here? What can I do? Oh, it's so exciting. Like, I don't know, like which direction to run, you know. And the inner woman is like, okay, yeah, I see these and these things are coming. Okay, let me take a moment. I write it all the outline out, you know. Took a whole day to really think through, like, okay, how is this? And got a little blocked, and then another inspiration came in, and you know, the whole like two inner families, my inner family, Michael inner family, started to dance, you know. And then I gave the complete like lead for Michael to and Michael's inner man. So okay, so you are the back office person, so you know everything about Kajabi, like how we need to build this system right now. So most people have no clue how much time these things take. Like just that little meditation I talked about is like maybe 5 hours of work to technically put it all together. And we have the platform which all has those things. If you don't have those platforms, it's even double that or even more, you know. So Michael sits down with his inner man and puts this program, like kind of, you know, structure and system and everything together, comes and presents it to me with all the boxes and structures, you know, as business man would do. And I just look at him and I see like, oh my God, this is so sexy. Like his inner man was in full power. And we went to walk on the beach, and the inner man was like still like, okay, and then we do this and then we do that. And it was just so delicious to see that. And my inner man was also on board. It's like, okay, so now we have done this chunk, so let's work with the next one. So what's next? What's the most priority next thing, you know? And how do we like kind of do it? And now they are dancing, you know. So my inner woman is like, okay, my intuition is appreciated. My guidance, which is coming, is appreciated. And then, of course, Michael's inner woman comes in and says, hey, what do you think if we would do it like this way or put it like this? And then, you know, do the finest details, you know, what picture to use, what font to use, like how to put it together, how would it pop out, you know, how it all kind of, you know, hangs together. And so we kind of start to think of like, okay, so how do we get now this stuff out? Like my inner family felt like we should get it out now, like tomorrow. And then I realized like physically it's not possible. Like I am a superwoman in so many ways, but okay, I have to like calm down. So we put like a realistic deadline. So we put the first deadline for this Sunday, and it seemed like a little unrealistic. And then we kind of took like one chunk at a time, like, okay, let's do this and let's do this. And if we get this and this done by Sunday evening, we can, you know, say we get this done by that time. So this is what we did. And the whole inner family, both of our inner families were so like accomplished, so happy. They're like, oh my God, finally. And some of these things which I had on my to-do list, which had been there for a very long time, very months, you know, because now they were really important. I had to put them in, and, you know, I did it like in 15 minutes, which I thought would take like 3 days or so. So can you imagine when every person on this planet gets like turned on with their superpowers, like we did this weekend, you know? What the world would be like, what kind of, you know, amazingness would come, the creativity, the products, you know, the solutions which you are here to help people with right now. So the world right now, what it looks like is we have this huge tsunami coming, you know, and most people have never really surfed a wave. They don't even know like what to do. And the ones like me and others who we have been like working with ourselves, we already have gone through like major crashes and collapses so many times. We know like, oh, there is this Another one. Okay. So where's my board? Okay, I have to know the timing. Where am I gonna be with my surfboard so that when this wave is going to break, it doesn't get me into nosedive. So I have to know the right location, right time, and then I'm getting everything ready. And then I do the best I can. I also will ask help from different people, so that when, you know, I get to that moment that the wave is coming closer to me, I'm in the right position, that when the wave is breaking, I'm there and it takes me, and I'm going with that wave for the years to come. And most of the people are so scared, they're running away, and then of course they can't surf with it because they're running away, or maybe they go duck under and they let the wave pass. So this is why it is so crucial this time of your life to find the groups which will really support your, you know, and accelerate your self-development, your progress. So this is why I also, you know, go into, you know, having membership groups and stuff. So people can come there and have these kind of lives with me there, because it's fair also to, you know, receive also abundance for my contribution. So so changes like that, you know, but I can help those people who are there. They can, you know, ask personal questions, and we can, you know, build a two-way street and share value like that, you know. So so two things just to repeat. So number one, your lifeline is your intuition. This is also why the post I did a week ago talked about the divine feminine is now activated, and we have to look inside and pamper our divine feminine as much as we can. Do the bath, you know, take care of ourselves. Even if you are a man, like pamper yourself like crazy, you know, so that your inner woman really gets to the state is like, okay, finally I'm important, you know. Finally someone is listening to me. Finally someone is actually putting into action what I was saying. I'm not just like some mute, you know, voice somewhere there in the distance who no one is, you know, listening to. I want to share a really amazing story, which I read in one of the books. I'm reading, like, I think 3 different books right now about fear. And fear has really been one of the topics which so fascinates me for years, because I've worked with people who had water fear. They come to me and there's like, how is this even possible? Someone has such water fear, you know, and then go deeper, like, how can I help them, you know? And I had no clue, no idea, no willingness to work with that. But I was started to receive those people coming to me. And when universe starts you people with certain issues, this is your you know, purpose. This is one of the things you're supposed to do here. So it's like, okay, in a humble way, okay, let's see what we can do. And this is also your inner woman in action, you know. So if so far everything I've been talking here has been like prono, so let me know. And I see Ruby Moon is here. Aloha, very nice to have you. Piret and Hia Kanner, so beautiful you are all here. So if you have questions about what I talked about, what I shared, anything happening in your life, some challenges you have, please don't hesitate, write it down now, so I have some time to go through it too. So back to that story. So this lady actually was, she was a psychologist, and she was working in academic world, and suddenly she started to really experiment and get these different ideas about fear. And she started to write these down, and then the idea came, you have to start to do these fear classes, and you have to go to new school. And she had no idea what does it mean, new school, you know. And then she realized in her community there was a school which was called New Social Studies School or something. And she had no idea. She just went into the school. She didn't know who she was supposed to meet. She went there, she saw the board with all the names, and there was one title which popped up, which was human relations. And it's like, okay, this is where you need to go. Okay. And then she went there. No one was at the reception desk, and she's kind of wandering around. There is a lady there asking, can I help you? And she's just like, I don't know. I have this idea about doing this fear class. It sounds maybe ridiculous, but it just guided me here. And this lady is saying, oh my God, you're like angel from the heaven. We just have been looking like crazy for someone to do a class like that. And we have to actually send this course outline now, like today, for, our administration, so that we can start it. And could you write it now? Like, because I have to really go now, kind of. And she's like, okay. And something what she thought would take years, she just sat down 15 minutes, did the course outline. It went out there. She started her class, and it turned into a book. It turned into her own instruction program, and a research about her. She sadly passed away, but her legacy still lives, and she has people now, all over the world who are actually teaching this. So very simple tools and things, how she, according to these classes and groups, she also made notes, so that she could, take it to the next level. And I understood why I even, found this book. This was some old book Michael had in his library. And it just popped out when we were going through all of our boxes, of stuff. And I realized oh my God, I have to really, I don't know, this book has something, I have to read it. And I started to consistently read it. And it's just amazing. And just this morning, this thing about intuition just popped out from that book and said, this is the lifeline, what people need right now. It's oh my God, how amazing is this? So why I also say this is our inner woman need to read and get impulses from the outside world, because if not, we will just go in our little pond or whatever, wherever you are, and we will not progress. So without that 10 minutes I read the book this morning, we wouldn't have that passionate, Facebook Live with me. So that's the thing, you have to let some outside information in, outside inspiration, and your inner woman will be over the moon, so grateful for you, because this will be helpful for sure as well. So and there are so many stories like that, people have told I just got the guidance to go there and do this and so on. But so oftentimes we are just stopping ourselves, or we let others stop us. So it's very, very crucial that in the coming months, I wouldn't even say days, in the coming months, you put your intuition, your inner woman as priority number one. Pampering her, basically see, what would that see, what would she need, and as soon as I changed my days in such a way that I had that 1 hour before doing anything else, for kind of in a slow way, kind of coming, reading and writing and so on, my whole day changed. I'm so full of energy, full of ideas. I'm so in my center. No one and nothing can really kick me off my center. And this is the kind of people we need right now. We need role models out there who can guide us through these challenging waters. So some time ago, me and Michael, we were trying to figure out how to, clarify our brand with infinite activation and what is this and so on. And one of the things which came when the name infinite activation came was that we are offering people infinite activation, infinite change. So it's not just change one time, but once they choose infinite activation into their life, they will be infinitely activated. So And this is one of our kind of goals. And in addition, we understood that both of us in combination, we have 50 years of life experience together. And we have been through so many collapses and difficult situations in our lives, and we always have come out to the other side, seen the light in the end of the tunnel, rebuilt our lives completely, like from minus to zero, and then to the plus again, living our dream life. So the recent one, which I say, when we met with Michael, so Michael was coming out from his relationship of 23 years, which was a shock for him that it ended the way it did. And I was just kind of like giving up on men. I was just completely done with men. I was like, I don't need them. They're just trouble. They mess up my world. I'm done with them, And I gave up. Like I had, looked for my Mr. Right in 14 years in 30 countries. I was done, sick and tired of it. So, and as soon as I let it go, Michael comes into the picture, sweeps me off my feet, a complete king on every possible level. And we adjust. It takes us almost a year to figure it all out, what we want, who we are, and so on. And once we figure it out, we move to Hawaii and we get married in Hawaii, and, all these new changes, we create a new company and so on. We moved to San Diego, we traveled to Europe, and, all of those things. We lived the dream many have never even dreamed about, So again, from the bottom up and creating consciously your new life the way it works for you. And we should do it every single day. And now it's so much easier for you because you have your lifeline, which is your intuition, and you have your superpowers. All you have to do is to activate it. And if you feel that you have trouble to activate it yourself and you would like to have a guide next to you, and you think that that guide could be me for 4 months to go through your inner child, inner woman, inner man, and then integrate all of them and start to use them in your life, you will become a superhuman, because your inner family can do things no human can do. We have invisible marketing team, our inner families are kind of working with, we have lots of information and stuff coming to us, which doesn't come to most people because their noise is so loud and their intuition is turned down. They don't receive that information. But because we listen, we are always in connection with our inner, families. We get the information already oftentimes before others. So that's a huge advantage. And now if you guys also feel like, okay, I'm ready to do that, what's that like? So let me know, and we can go through the process. And I open this up as a special occasion. I actually closed the groups already and thought to start it again in September. But if there is anyone here who's like, I really need it now, Crystal, I can open this up. So let me know. And this will really change your life, because for me, once I started to really activate all of my inner family, it was like a game changer on every possible level. Business, my relationships, relationship to myself and others. I'm so much more humble. I'm so much more conscious. I'm taking so good care of my health. Some of the stuff which I'm listening now to the class I'm doing this week, waking up early, exercising, taking pit stops and stuff. These are like common sense to me now. But some people, it takes like several years or a decade to figure out how they can start a gym membership and stuff. For me, to live without not moving is like I turn into like a crazy person. Like my body doesn't know how to function without that anymore. And it's been 1.5 years of constant workout every day or every other day. So it's a lifestyle. So Also my life purpose, like more and more of these different outlets and things and ways are put together, more income streams coming from different ways, more ways to serve people who really need what I can and do. And then of course abundance will automatically come as, you know, as a result of that. So it's all working, and then of course the sexuality is also being activated more in a different way. So that abundance wheel works also magic, you know. So why I also invite you all to participate in our Sundays webinar is also that when we do our offer, we also actually are willing to guide you if you want to set up your own online product or stuff right now. We can guide you with some tools and stuff we have done. If you don't have much money, I can give you tips and tools how you can set up your online business with $0. If you have some, I can also give you some tips and tools, which, you know, technical stuff you can use so that it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. I have so much experience with online stuff for 10 years. I've tried everything, subscription, products, you know, webinars, group classes, like fully Facebook groups, like VIP groups, you know. I've done so many different kind of like tests and programs. So I have a lot of knowledge. So if you want to have me as a coach, or you would like to you know, purchase that bundle, will have so much value. It's just like crazy what we are giving away. So be there on Sunday. It's going to be 10 a.m. Pacific Central Time and 8 p.m. Estonia time. And others, you can figure out what's your time there. So I don't see any questions. So I have a couple of questions here which I thought are kind of crucial, and I'll answer these. And if someone has more, you can leave it in the comment section so I can do it later. So one of the questions which came in was, Crystal, what can I do? I feel like completely paralyzed in this situation. I lost my job. I have no money coming in. I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent and all of my dues. Do you have an idea how to get out of this situation? So the paralyzing fear, this shows that you are completely on that level of pain, and also you are outside of yourself, because if you are inside of yourself in connection with your center, you will be connected to your inner family automatically. You will then figure out how to communicate with them. And also the number one key in this situation is basically all of these things I talked about here today, intuition and connection to your inner family. If you don't know how to do it, find someone to help you and guide you on that journey. Basically what I would do is body, mind, spirit techniques, which would help you to get back into your center, create the discipline and something which will create like a container. Because if you don't have the container, your whole thing kind of floats everywhere. So I've used this little example, you know, you have this little pool they use for kids, you like pump and then the walls kind of come up and kind of creates like a little pool for the water to be in there. Most people right now who are in paralyzed fear, their pool walls are not up, they're down. So whatever water you will put there, it will just run in all different directions. And that's overwhelming. You have like no clue what's going on and so on. So the first thing, yeah, creating like body, mind, spirit discipline. So what movement? You need more movement than ever right now. What do you, you know, feed your mind with? What's the spiritual thing for you, what you can do right now to get yourself, you know, into your center, what gives you peace of mind and calmness. So kind of think in that direction. And then Of course, I'll say again, come to our, event where we will go into bits and pieces about how to move from fear to courage, and this has been like, my courage muscles are so strong because I've traveled so much, I've moved so much, I've crashed so much, I had to come up and go to a new place, knock a new door, get the no again, crash again, collapse again. And all of these things I can help now, you who you are there and really struggling. So don't hesitate to reach out to me and we'll figure out how we can make it happen. So also you have to move from that pain and also lack mindset, which most people may have right now, into the center or towards your power. And this is why it's so crucial to figure out, what your true values are and what your life mission here is. Because as you see, most regular jobs are actually not sustainable anymore. Yesterday, I actually went to a shop. I wanted to buy some extra stuff, my home gym kind of thing, and it was closed because of the lockdown here in California. And I wouldn't really thought that they would close a sports shop, but they did. So I had to go to Walmart and I got a couple of things, but all of these shelves were empty. And all of the people who were there were so super stressful and, nervous. So this is definitely not the place to go, but I just had to do what I had to do. And I brought it home. I disinfected it all. And this morning I had an awesome workout because I had those additional tools, So, so all of these things. So intuition, discipline, which helps your body, mind, spirit, connect to your inner family. I'll also post once again the inner family meditation. So you can get in connection with them if you haven't already. Figure out your values and also, what is your life purpose. And I'll put all of these also into your task sheet. So what to do exactly, so you can go through it and figure it out. So I hope this was helpful for others as well, because that's where the fun is, when someone is asking a question, actually there are so many other people who also get the value from it. So let's see, I'll take one more and then we'll wrap up. So yeah, so one was tricks to meet the unknown. So that's a good one, Crystal, do you have tricks to meet the unknown? And that's another specialty of mine. I used to be so scared. I remember the first time I took the plane to Denmark to go to folk high school. I was pretty scared because all my life I kind of lived in a very contained way, and I was like a potted plant. My grandmother was so overprotective, And once I started to get out more and more, I learned that, oh my God, I love courage. I love to feel that I'm accomplished something, that I learned something new, that my body can do something new, like I had no idea what is aerial silks, that I could do anything on them. My body is not the model body. It's not created for aerial silks. But once I started to do it, I was so hooked, or outrigger canoe thing. Like, oh my God, like I went through all the seats and found like every one of them being very, very, challenging. So number one trick with meeting the unknown is basically meeting the unknown. And if you are scared, do it anyways. So it's so simple. And right now you have to just, keep your safety in mind. Over here where we live is actually, they closed down all the outside gym parks as well. They closed down all the picnic areas. They closed down even the parking lot close to these parks. It's really crazy. It feels like, oh my God, but there is so much you can also do, reach out to someone who is really, very important to you over the internet. I have had several Zoom calls with some of my friends or sent messages. It's really good to know they're all doing good and what struggles they have, and communicate and talk about those fears as well. So the unknown is basically something we need to meet over and over again throughout our own whole life, and stronger your muscle of courage will become, less stress you will have to meet the unknown. You will be actually going to the other side. You will be like, I'm so excited to meet the unknown. I don't know how I'm gonna drive there. I'll figure it out. My GPS will help me, and I'll just do it. Just recently here, I had to go to a live event, and it seemed very difficult to figure out, which parking garage I'm going to go and how I'm going to get there. And I'm not really fond of parking garages in general, and I figured it out, and went completely alone, did it all alone. And oh my God, my courage muscle felt so strong. I came back that day and I was like, like proudly telling to Michael, my inner man was like so powerful. Michael, I did it, I did it myself. Like I drove all this time on the highway myself, and then I did this, and I even, figured out the parking ticket thing was a mess, and I figured out the mess and so on. So this is what you do. You have to just train it and, exercise it all the time. And if you need to, you can figure out also, there are lots of inner tools you can do. I have used, like kind of imagine from one of the fear classes I've taken, that you have on one shoulder you have critique and critique, and then on the other you have the guide, and you have to kind of fire the critique and employ your guide like fully. And your guide will be there, or you can just call in your inner man. You will be protecting me. I'm going there right now. I don't know how it's going to be, but be there. The other morning when I had this thing last week, everything got kind of in chaos. So I called in my inner family to support me, and everything was like, it was just amazing. Some drive, which usually took 30 minutes, took just 15 minutes one way, no traffic. Everything was like flowing. I couldn't believe it. Michael couldn't believe it. It was like, oh my God, what happened? So, and we are just like following right now one really interesting about superpowers, like series on TV. And there is this little guy who is talking to phones and, traffic lights and so on. And we were watching this, and this little guy is like, don't you worry, Mom, all these lights will turn green. And the mom is like, okay, and the lights will all turn green. And this is what I have been doing. This is your superpower. You can talk to your inner man, and he can figure out tech stuff. So he loves tech stuff, and your inner family is so happy when you include them. They've been unemployed all this time, And it may seem like, Crystal, it's just like, again, that inner family, I'm like sick and tired of it. I'm sorry. It's just like, it made such a huge difference in my life. It changed my life completely. Everyone who has done the class are like over the moon. Every class, every session I do with people who are in the program, like even yesterday, I was blown away. Like, oh my God, there was a new discovery again. I make all these notes, so in the future I can also build inner family coaches programs, so people can become instructors themselves. This is what the world needs right now. This is my mission. So what's your mission? So good question. So I hope this was helpful. I see Marika Loit is here. Aloha, nice to see you. Heli is here. Thank you so much. And as I said, I'll put the link to our Sunday webinar, which will be in English, together with Michael. We are so excited to start this new thing, and we'll probably do several things with it also in the future. And part of that is also going to be actually a new program Michael just launched, which is called 7-Step Program, which helps you to actually accomplish more in 7 days than you have in 7 months. And that will be included in that program offer we'll do in the end of the webinar. So we are so excited to be here for you, and you will now get more information about how my regular work here on Facebook will go. What I will continue to do once a week, I'll put a little how-to video. It will be shorter, maybe 10-15 minutes, and just like explain something, and it will come every week, and then occasional lives from whatever out and about. And I'll also start my podcast. I'll start first with my Estonian podcast, and then kind of practice on that a little bit. And as this goes, then I will also start to do it in English. Also start to go back to my book, which has been in my drawer for too many years. It's time to really get all these things out and about, and kick some ass and surf the waves. So I thank you so much, everyone, for being here, supporting me and my work. Please, if this information was really helpful to you, share this video with as many as you can, and see you soon. And let's stay in connection. It's going to be a really amazing time. Mahalo, all the best, and see you soon.